Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Today, I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the weather health risk for November 21st, 2025. We do keep additional graphics available at tpatw.com. And for those of you that do shop Amazon, Patient Weather keeps some educational videos available there on Amazon, and especially important for us here at the shopping and holiday season. Looking at the surface map, we do have that low pressure and some moisture streaming into Southern California. There is always a frontal system approaching the Pacific Northwest, and the most significant frontal system for Friday stretches all the way from San Antonio to St. Louis, up into Cleveland, and back on up into southeastern Canada. Note there is a large swath of moisture available across almost all of the eastern portions of the country, except for the very coastal Gulf, Florida, and a little bit of the southeastern coast on the Atlantic side. Looking at our vitality index, and this is a composite picture of almost all of the weather elements available that might have an impact on human health, and you'll see that we have a little bit of activity here along Western California, a more significant area of activity here in the southern plains, especially central Texas, and then we have another very large area of unsettled weather stretching all the way from Wisconsin, southern Illinois, across the Ohio Valley into the middle Atlantic states, and actually streaming up from Virginia into those middle Atlantic states and then spreading across all of New England. Note we take in most of the Canadian cities from Windsor all the way to Quebec. Looking at pressure change, and pressure change is always significant for those with headache and pain, and you'll see we have rising pressure here in Western California across Nevada into the toe or the boot heel of Idaho, across Utah into Colorado, and swinging down just a touch here into New Mexico. We have falling pressure stretching all the way from the middle Mississippi Valley here in southern Illinois, across Indiana, northern Kentucky, into Ohio, all the way over into Virginia, picking up West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York, all of the New England states, and again, all of the Canadian cities from Windsor to Quebec. Dew point temperature map is very interesting once again, and you can see that we have that increasing dew point temperatures, increasing vapor pressure streaming on into Southern California. You notice the bit of drying here in the southern and central plains all the way up to Wisconsin, but notice the increasing dew point temperatures and vapor pressure across portions of the southern states, Louisiana, Mississippi, but really becoming significant once we get up here into the Ohio Valley, the middle Atlantic states from Virginia up, and across almost all of New England. Looking at POI, which is the measure of the availability of oxygen in the atmosphere, you'll see we have a risk of migraine here in southeastern California, again into the toe of Idaho, portions of the plains behind all of that frontal activity in West Texas, on up into Colorado, Oklahoma, Kansas, southern Nebraska, off into Iowa, up into Wisconsin and the Michigan Upper Peninsula. So a little bit of hurt there in much of the heartland. There will be a risk of asthma or arthritis here in Montana and the Dakotas, but the most significant area of arthritis and asthma risk will be from here along southern and on the coast of Louisiana and Mississippi, and then picking up air in the middle Mississippi Valley in southern Illinois, really the boot heel of Missouri, cutting across western Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, starting again in South Carolina, moving north all the way through the Carolinas, Virginia, Pennsylvania, again all the way across New York, all of New England, and picking up those Canadian cities from Windsor all the way up to Quebec, and in this case moving on into New Brunswick, probably off to Nova Scotia, maybe even all the way up to Prince Edward Islands. In any case, thank you for visiting us. Remember, we're available on Amazon during this holiday season. It would help us. And thanks for joining. Let us know if you're hurting. And we'll talk to you again soon.